Welcome to today's webinar for Digital Transformation Journey for SightN2 Omnichannel Marketing Analytics. My name is Susan Van Riper. I am Nihilent's lead data scientist, and today I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Nihilent's SightN2 Omnichannel Marketing Analytics solution. This solution combines data from disparate data sources, adds a layer of artificial intelligence and advanced analytics, and displays reports and dashboards with actionable insights for your marketing organization. Ultimately, SightN2 for Omnichannel Marketing Analytics allows your marketing organization to accelerate its digital transformation journey in order to gain a holistic 360-degree view of your customer, to optimize your customer engagement, and to maximize your marketing return on investment. We at Nihilent have deep experience in domain knowledge. We have gathered some of the best staff across the world to find the right solution for you. Our solutions are among the best in the world, and as a testimonial, we were a finalist for the Microsoft Partner of the Year in 2016 for Cloud Package Solutions. We have experience in many different areas, from business intelligence and advanced analytics to cloud transformation and application development. We can apply this experience in many industry verticals, and in particular, we have deep domain knowledge in healthcare, manufacturing, financial services, and retail. However, we can apply our knowledge across other industry verticals as well. We've used this expertise to develop the SightN2 suite of applications that provide actionable insights for a variety of industries. And today, we introduce the latest in the SightN2 suite, Omnichannel Marketing Analytics. So, do you get the feeling that you're no longer playing the same game that you once were? Well, it's not you. The world has changed. The things that used to set companies apart, such as economies of scale, distribution strength, and brand, are far less potent than they used to be. Why? Because digital technology has fundamentally changed two things. First, the dynamics of the markets in which you operate, and two, the speed at which you need to remain competitive. No matter your industry, analytics and intelligence will be a central pillar in your digital transformation. And nowhere is this more true than in retail and marketing. So then how do you get there? Transformation requires rich systems of intelligence, and it isn't simply about technology. Systems of intelligence represent the combination of technology, people, and process that enable these feedback loops and define an organization's competitiveness and ability to change the entire landscape of the industries in which it participates. And while people, process, and intelligence is important to transform your products and optimize your operations and empower your employees, perhaps the most important pillar of digital transformation is customer engagement and how rapidly that landscape is changing. There have been a number of buzzwords and defining technology trends in retail over the last decade, from big data to omnichannel and the ubiquitous and omnipresent cloud. And now, with the advent of the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence, they've seemingly become the latest crazes and talk of the town. You know, Forrester expects investment in AI to triple this year, and by 2020, 85% of customer interactions will be managed by AI, according to research by Gartner. So it's clearly becoming big business across industries and not just in retail. The value of AI is estimated to be worth $36.8 billion globally by 2025, predicts the US market intelligence firm Tractica. With the proliferation and accumulation of so much data as people shop, anytime, anywhere, whether online, in physical stores, or increasingly via their mobile phones, the conundrum for many remains. There's just too much information to be able to make any meaningful use of it. And that's where artificial intelligence comes in. AI relies on a continual process of technological learning from experience and getting better and better at answering complex questions. Algorithms powered by AI can rapidly come up with alternative options which are otherwise much more time-consuming and laborious, using conventional computer-powered methods, such as A/B testing. Like the human brain, AI adapts to the environment and gets better the more you use it. But unlike humans, the capacity for improvement is unlimited. What's more, boring, repetitive tasks are never a problem. AI learns from past behavior as well as trial and error to come up with more intelligent solutions. And it's not just science, there's an art to selling too. But the old-fashioned rules-based analytics will soon become a thing of the past. Artificial intelligence and advanced analytics rely heavily on data, which is why data is now the key strategic business asset. Every device, every customer, every activity, everything that's happening in the world around us is producing incredibly rich data that can help us create new experiences, new efficiencies, new business models, and even new inventions. Leveraging this data can be the differentiator for your business. For example, IDC estimates companies that are leaders in using data assets to their advantage will capture $1.6 trillion more in business value than those that lag behind. While data is pervasive, actionable intelligence from data remains elusive. Nihilent customers want to be able to transform data into intelligent action and reinvent their business processes. And to do this, they need to more easily analyze massive amounts of data so that they can move from seeing what happened and understanding why it happened to predicting what will happen and ultimately knowing what should I do. Only then can they create the intelligent enterprise. Now, we can apply analytics across many, many different areas, including sales and marketing, finance and risk, customer and channels, operations and workforce. And if we look at sales and marketing, we really think about how can we use analytics to acquire new customers, to cross-sell and upsell our products, to build loyalty products or programs, and how can we maximize our marketing mix. And when we engage with our customers, we want to not only know the lifetime customer value, but we want to be able to personalize offers and make product recommendations that fit their needs. So the writing is on the wall. In order to continually make your customer happy, you will need to accelerate your digital transformation. At the heart of acceleration is artificial intelligence. It is the key to making your customers happy. And now is the time to jump on the bandwagon. Making customers happy will drive loyalty to your brand. And in order to make your customers happy, you need to know your customer completely. You need to gain insights about them and proactively engage with them, what they want, when they want it, and how. But this all requires data. So data comes from all sorts of places. And in fact, you might be thinking, I'm drowning in data. And while there is an overwhelming amount of data for marketers, and data is everywhere, the right data is often siloed, leaving marketing information either fractured or incomplete. And analytics are scarce in most marketing organizations, and typically they trail decision-making if they're used at all. So how many systems do you think non-marketing functions of your business uses? Well, on average, it's about 4.5. As a marketer, how many systems do you think the average marketer uses? It's incredible. It's 12.5. And what's more, most of these are not managed by IT, as marketing organizations often go out and buy their own external systems. So ask yourself, how many systems are you using to run your business? How many systems are you using to run your marketing? And what is the cost of all these systems? As a marketing manager, not only are you drowning in the data that is siloed, you also need to map customer journeys, which are increasingly complex. With all of this, you're under incredible pressure to deliver on your marketing spend, to maximize your ROI. And now you need to accelerate your transition to omnichannel marketing and analytics. These are all challenges that are facing marketing organizations today. At Nihilent, we have witnessed marketing organizations struggle with these very same issues. So with our expertise and experience, we created SightN2 for Omnichannel Analytics to accelerate your digital transformation for marketing. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to show you a demo of our solution. But as a preview, I want to show you just a screenshot of our SightN2 for Omnichannel Analytics. And what this does is it allows us to bring together siloed data and combine data with artificial intelligence, customer segmentation, and provide you with dashboards and reports that allow you to explore your data in order to gain valuable insight into your sales, marketing, and customers. SightN2 provides you with a holistic 360-degree view of your customers in order for you to drive better customer engagements on the channel they prefer with the right marketing message. We do this by mapping the customer journey with the goal of increasing conversions through each and every channel. This allows you to optimize your marketing budget to determine where to spend your marketing dollars to gain the best return on investment. And we do this by integrating artificial intelligence and advanced analytics, such as forecasting and predicting, and plan optimization and customer segmentation. In the end, you can make better decisions when those decisions are driven by data in real time. SightN2 brings together data from all kinds of different sources, including digital media, which might include web analytics, Google, Facebook, Instagram, etc., your paid searches and email campaigns, and it combines this with traditional media data such as TV, print, and door drops. And on top of that, we can include lead and sales data sources with your CRM and your ERP systems. The data is stored in the data warehouse, which then feeds into machine learning for artificial intelligence and advanced analytics. The analytics are then presented to you through Power BI in an easy-to-use portal. And on top of this, you can see just a few types of marketing analytics you can get through this solution. These include ad search and performance, campaign performance. We can start selecting subgroups for targeted marketing. We can look at customer behavior. We can classify leads. We can look at financials, actual versus budget, and even predict campaign efficacy. So next, I want to actually show you a demo of our solution for SightN2 for Omnichannel Marketing Analytics. But before we actually get to the demo, what I want to talk to you about is the company that is in the demo. So Adventure Bikes is a company that began producing and selling mountain bikes. And it is now producing different kinds of bikes. And in addition, a few years ago, Adventure Bikes started to also sell merchandise and clothing. Second, about a year and a half ago, we got a new marketing manager. And Adventure Bikes adopted an omnichannel analytics strategy. And they purchased Nihilent SightN2 for omnichannel analytics. As a result of bringing data together from disparate sources, they were able to develop specific personas using advanced analytics. This allowed them to start precision marketing to each type of customer. So, for example, we would market differently to the adventurer versus the procrastinator versus the impulsive shopper versus the trend follower. Now, the first step was to market through Facebook, Twitter, email, and internet advertising, and primarily internet advertising, and then monitor the results. And this allowed us to refine our precision marketing for that goal. And this is used then to create new marketing campaigns. Now, our CEO has indicated that he would like us to really look at maximizing selling bicycle jerseys. So we want to be able to develop a marketing campaign for selling bicycle jerseys. So I'm going to show you how you can not only view Facebook and Twitter, but also the information that is integrated from CRM sales and advanced analytics to provide a more complete picture so that then we can select target personas for a precision marketing campaign to sell jerseys. So as you can see, we can actually take a look at Facebook individually and all of the information that we can get through the API feed for Facebook. We can also do the same for Twitter. But again, these are just siloed views. And so I'm more interested in looking at information that is pulled together. And this is, once we're signed on, what we would first come up in the SightN2 Omnichannel for Marketing Analytics portal. What you're seeing here is a composite of a lot of different information. What we can see here is we've pulled in information from our sales and we've combined it with our marketing information to understand how much of our sales are coming in from each one of our channels. So as we can see, the No campaign for 2015, 16, and 17 really is driving most of our sales. But we do have some internet ads and things like that. And as we take a look at sales amount by channel down here on the lower left, if we scroll over, what we can see is how this changes over time. So if we remember, a year and a half ago, we started looking towards precision marketing. And what we can see here is that this is our internet ad sales is actually increasing over time. And about a year and a half was right about here. We would hope that our internet ads would actually overtake what we were selling from our No campaign. But if we look at the period of time here, this is the holiday season, and we can explain that yes, we're still going to get quite a bit of sales that is attributed to just for people looking for different items. And what we can see here down on the bottom right is how our sales by channel has changed over time. And if we scroll over to the right, and we noticed about a year and a half ago, we undertook the challenge of changing our ad mixes. And so about a year and a half ago, we can see how our internet sales has actually gone up dramatically. And it coincides with when we started changing our marketing. Now, we had hoped that the internet marketing would actually overtake everything, but as you can see here, it did not right away. But we can explain that because this is the holiday season, and we can expect that there's going to be some large number of sales that are not attributed to a particular campaign. So if we focus on starting in January of this year, we can see that the internet is actually driving the vast proportion. We can also take a look at how much the sales amount are by category. And as we expect, the bikes are the major amount of sales, but we can also see that clothing and accessories here are a small part. We can also start drilling down into specific years. So if we wanted to look at 2017, we can see what the different mixes are. And if we wanted to include 2016, we can start looking at 2016. And we can include 2017 together. We can also start looking at just bikes by clicking on just the bikes. We can also then take a look at the sales amount by location. And so if we wanted to take a look at the Nevada area, and we can just see all of the sales coming from Nevada. The other thing that we've done here is we've talked about developing different personas. And what we can do is we can see here in 2016 and 2017 what the sales are for each different persona. So here we see that the adventurer and the high responder and the power shoppers are actually some of the largest. Next, we can start taking a look at the campaign analysis. And again, we can select different date ranges, but I'm really interested in 2017 at this point. Here we can see how many page views and how many balances we have, the total sales amount, ad clicks, the number of visitors, which is unique number of visitors, and the number of visits that we have. We can then start taking a look at the web visits by channel. So we can see that most of them are being driven by internet ads. We can also then start looking at how this mix is changing over time. So if we wanted to add in 2016, we can add in 2016, and then we can really start seeing how this changes over time. We can also take a look at, for instance, accessories, bikes, clothing, and components by the different campaign categories. So we can determine how many of the sales are being driven by email, Facebook, internet ad, etc. We can even do this by different countries so that we can understand if our customers are in different countries, how much that is being driven. We can also look at web traffic analysis. So this is very specific. And this is actually very, very important. One of the things that we can take a look at is how many new visitors we have versus returning visitors. And as you can see, right when we started our new precision marketing and campaign mix, the number of visitors that we have goes up dramatically. What's very important here is we have a large number of new visitors. Perhaps even more importantly, what we have here on the bottom right is if we take a look at our bounce rate. So this line right here is our bounce rate, which is the percentage of bounces that we have. Over here, we have the number of unique visitors and web visitors and how many we have. What's really important is that our bounce rate is actually going down, which means that our precision marketing is actually working very well. And we can infer that our return on investment is actually going up, because many times we pay by click or by impression. So this is showing that a return on investment is actually going up. We can start taking a look at things like banner ad analysis. So this will give us an idea of where our banner ads are impressions by actual placement. So we can say whether it's the bottom left, and we can see what's driving those different things over time. We can also start looking at ad spend by different kinds of publishers. We might have Yahoo or Microsoft or Google or Turner Entertainment New Media. And we can also start looking at the number of ad clicks by cost method. So some of them are cost up front, some of them are cost per impression, and some of them are cost per click. And we can start analyzing those. We can even start bringing things in such as a satisfaction survey. And here we can look at things like likelihood to return, and we can actually do this by geographical location. And so we can start drilling down into specific states. And in our current situation where we want to start selling jerseys, we can start actually looking at clothing sales specifically. And we can start looking at the sales amount by channel for clothing over time. We can also start looking at different types of clothing, which are caps or gloves, and we can actually see which ones of our personas are actually putting together the adventurer, the high returning customer, and the power shopper. And we can look at total sales of clothing by persona. We can even start analyzing those particular persona. Now, you may ask, how did we develop these personas? Well, that's a really good question. And here's where machine learning and artificial intelligence comes in. So what we did is we took all the information that you just saw, the sales analysis, the web traffic, and we looked at the individuals. And then we used a technique that's called clustering. And we said we want to put together the different kinds of patterns and the customer patterns into 10 different categories. We then took a look at the common factors among those 10 different personalities and labeled them. And that's how we came up with those particular different personas. Now, what we can do then is we can start analyzing those personas. So for instance, we can look at the persona spend by education. So the adventurers, we have a bachelor's, graduate, high school, partial college, partial high school. And we can start taking a look at how much they're spending by education within each of those personas. And we can actually take a look at persona spending over time as well, and we can understand where they are located. So what I've showed you is just a quick snapshot of some of the things that you can get insight into using SightN2 Omnichannel Marketing Analytics. You can only imagine the kinds of things that you could do with your data. So in summary, SightN2 for Omnichannel Marketing Analytics allows you to get a holistic 360-degree view of your customers in order to drive better engagements. You can map your customer journey to increase conversions, and You can maximize your marketing budget and understand where to spend to get the best ROI. And you can do this using integrated advanced analytics, such as forecasting, optimization, customer segmentation, to make better data-driven decisions in real time. And within this on-demand webinar, we are offering an advanced analytics assessment from which you will receive a roadmap to accelerate adoption and integration of artificial intelligence and advanced analytics into your organization. And funding may be available to cover up to $12,000 of the assessment cost. So contact Nihilent today to see if you qualify. Thank you for taking the time today to be introduced to our new SightN2 for Omnichannel Marketing Analytics. We appreciate your time. Thank you and have a great day.